I'm Jillian.
And I'm Natasha. And this is Mental Mudslide.
Each episode, we slide down the slippery slopes of our minds. I've got some garden gummies, a head full of wild ideas, and zero filters.
And I'm here to ride that wave and see where our mental mudslides take us. It's all about fun, unexpected turns, and a deep dive into the wacky and wonderful.
The Fruit Mafia's after me.
What did you do?
I said too much, apparently.
I think so. I thought that, actually.
Yeah, they are not happy with me.
Yeah, I feel like it's like Fight Club. And I couldn't believe you even talking about its existence.
Well, they have retaliated.
You disclosed that they weren't even cherries. So like you've already like tightened it down.
Yes. So the other night, I had grabbed a bowl of grapes and I was happily eating my little grapes. And one of them tried to kill me.
Everywhere they're watching you.
I know.
What happened?
So I have a weird allergy
Shocker.
to apples, but not all apples. Some apples. Okay. Some apples will make my throat slightly close up. Not emergency level, but it starts to feel like I'm breathing through a straw. Just a little. And then it like dissipates within a minute or two. It's like if you like banged your elbow or something, it's like that strong feeling for a second and then it like kind of lets go. It's that, but with constricting your throat.
So is it like the Fiji? Is it the Granny?
It doesn't matter. It could be any apple variety. And if there's an entire bag of apples, like if you get a whole bag of like Pink Lady apples, maybe one apple does it to me and the other ones in the bag don't. Usually, if I want to have an apple, which is probably ill-advised, but if I want to have an apple, I take a bite and then I wait a couple of minutes and just kind of see how my throat feels.
Oh my God.
Because it's not a very intense or severe reaction usually. It's usually like, oh, yeah, I can tell that my throat is just slightly, like it's like a little itch. Like, okay, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have this. And then I don't have that apple or I'll try a different one in the bag.
Oh my God. Jillian.
But I love apples. Okay, anyway. So I basically, just microdose myself a little bit to see if it's an okay apple. So it's only ever happened with apples up until the other night, right after I unveiled all the juicy secrets about the Fruit Mafia. And then the grapes tried to kill me.
Are grapes and apples related to each other?
I don't know.
Do they have the same skin as each other?
I don't think so.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
How
But
many grapes did you eat?
So I had made like a good like a cereal bowl size like amount of grapes, but they were still on the stem, and so I was just kind of picking them off and watching TV.
So you don't even know which one's the culprit.
I don't even know which one was the culprit.
Was the whole bunch, I wonder?
I don't know, but I was so scared because I was home alone and it was the most intense reaction I have ever had. And I was like, calm, stay calm, stay calm. You can breathe. You can breathe. And I was like, okay, it always goes away pretty quickly. And I could still breathe. I was trying to make my way upstairs to just get some Benadryl. Normally it doesn't take Benadryl to make it go away. But I was starting to have a panic attack, which makes it worse.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, stay calm. I had tears running down my face. And in retrospect, I totally should have called 911. But in the moment, I couldn't think about it. Like, I honestly, like, it didn't even cross my mind to call 911. It crossed my mind that I was alone.
Yeah.
But it didn't cross my mind that that would be a 911
No, especially since at least with like apples, you know what's up. But with grapes, you don't know how far it could have gone because it was new for you.
Yeah.
You got to call the 911.
Yeah. Next time I will call the 911.
Why?
I have an appointment to go get an EpiPen because now I have 2 fruits trying to kill me.
Can't eat fruit anymore. What is this world coming to?
I don't accept it. I don't accept it. I will continue to do it. I will just be a little bit more cautious. I had a raisin since then and I didn't have any issues.
Well, do you think it's actually fruit or something else? Because like if it was fruit, every time you ate every apple or every grape, this would happen.
Right.
Not just like rando
pieces
so here and there.
When this first started happening to me with apples, which was 13 years ago because I was pregnant and driving.
Baby crew and everything.
Oh my God. I was so scared because I was in the middle of nowhere when it started happening. And I just thought, it almost is like when you eat something really sour and you know how like you kind of get like the back of your mouth kind of puckers when you that's what it feels like, but in my throat. So it's not like intense, but you can tell that there's less air flowing, right? And I was like, okay, I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere. I need to get closer to where I am. I didn't even have good service in that area. So I was just like, stay calm, stay breathing. You're going to get closer. If it gets any worse, you're just going to try calling 911, even though you don't have service for another couple miles. And by the time that I got to where service was, I was fine. And so then I've just known that this is an apple thing and it happens every once in a while. So I just kind of take eating apples a little slow. But I have an appointment to get an EpiPen this week.
Well, if you don't know what's causing it, how are they going to give you an EpiPen? Is it EpiPen for every kind of allergy?
Yeah.
Or, it's for all allergies.
It's like it stops your
It's just for
histamine.
anaphylactic.
It just like opens your
okay.
breathing. It like is like
Yeah.
massive. So you don't need to have it for a specific
Okay.
reason. Yeah. So just in case that happens, but I suspect that I would also be challenged a little bit to be like, okay, when is the right time to use this? I think I would I'm going to have
instant that you start feeling it is when you're supposed to take it to prevent it from going, because you want to get it into your bloodstream before your airway closes.
I know it's
You don't want to wait and be like, it's closed and now put it on and hope that like your throat opens up back in time to breathe again. That's not how this works.
There's a way that like, right. But like, isn't that a weird thing? I have like a weird thing of not knowing when to determine something as an emergency.
You might not be able to breathe is always an emergency.
I would be like, okay, give me like 5 seconds to see if this is calming down a little.
If you're not alone, there's nobody with you who's going to save you. It's not like your husband can stick his hand down your throat and be like, rip out. There you go. Now you can breathe.
They can put the EpiPen in me though.
Oh.
The EpiPen happens like right away. If you had to EpiPen yourself, like, so I'm just saying like if somebody
That's
else could
easy.
be like, okay, you're at a point where it looks like you're having a little bit of trouble, not just like, oh, this feels a little scratchy. It's like if you bang your toe for that first couple of seconds, you're like, oh my God, I just banged my toe, but it doesn't actually hurt bad.
Fuck with it. I don't know if I
Yeah.
fuck with it, girl.
It's probably the best advice,
I
but
don't fuck with it.
the overall point is this.
Air is important.
The Fruit Mafia
Bitches.
is not happy
I think
with
they may
me.
have poisoned that shit.
I think so.
It might not have been like an allergic reaction. It might have been a poisoning.
Big Raisin doesn't want their secrets out.
Oh my God, what if you're eating poisoned fruit? Because you obviously are not allergic to the fruit. Otherwise, like I said, you would every grape you ate, every apple you ate. So it's not the fruit that you're allergic to.
I've had raisins since then. So like, I mean, is the chemical structure of a raisin the same?
Dehydrating fucks everything up. Yeah. 'Cause it's
I
not
don't
the
know.
same when you rehydrate it back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
doesn't pop back into a grape.
that's true. But I have not had grapes since I decided that maybe I should just take a little pause
I
on
think that's
it.
a great idea.
I
think that's a great
just
idea.
because I was that was a little scary
You
for
need to
me.
move on to another fruit. You need to leave the grapes behind.
But I love grapes. I love grapes. I love apples. Once
People love meth too. Doesn't mean you should just be using it. Okay, doesn't mean go for it.
Okay, I just want you to know that one time, this is how much I love apples. One time, I had an apple tasting party where I got every variety of apple I could literally find, and then we cut them all up and we tasted different apples and we rated them based on which ones were our favorites and not.
How is it? I don't understand loving fruit like to where
Oh, I love apples.
rarely eat fruit. Rarely.
It's so tasty.
I don't. When was the last time? I guess avocado.
Yum.
I ate some avocado.
Yum. I'm here for the avocado.
When is the last time I bought fruit and personally ate it and didn't feed it to my children?
I ate strawberries today on the drive.
I have had a strawberry at least once this year, for sure. Definitely. Sometime.
Once this year.
I don't even remember the last time.
Wow. So I had
That's not to
a
say much. You
banana.
guys know that I don't have a very good memory. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, but it's not on my radar. I don't like log my fruit use, you know.
I watched a documentary on your gut microbiome, and they said that you can heal a lot of things going on in your gut, and it can reduce anxiety, and it can like it's everything. So their number one suggestion was increase your fruit and veg.
I eat a decent amount of vegetables. Why don't I eat fruit?
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat fruit. So weird.
It is weird.
It's making me wonder.
Been talking all about eating. Gobble gobble day just got over.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, hi everybody. Thanks for taking a break from me. I was super sick. It sounded like I had eaten like a bucket of gravel for like 5 days.
It was sultry. We're gonna call that sultry.
Well, I mean, one of the days was sultry, but the rest were. The rest were like it sounded like I was speaking through static or something. Yeah, so Thanksgiving was lovely. It was lovely. I went and visited family out of state, and my littlest one got to play with cousins his age, and it was really good. But oh my gosh. So Jillian, I was with family that I haven't spent a lot of time with recently. And I was in the deep south.
In the deep south.
Mm-hmm.
South your mouth.
Well, so my aunt is very like traditional Southern with the Southern accent, very like, you know, stereotypical Jesus, sweet as pie, you know, all the things.
Bless your heart.
Bless his hearts, means it, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So after Thanksgiving dinner, she wanted the family to put up the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and she has like a 13-foot Christmas tree. So
Amazing.
yes. So she's asking all the men in the family to like go get it out of the attic, bring it down, assemble it, all of the things, right? And it's the first year she's ever used this particular tree. So she's like, hey, I need a fluffer for this tree. And my cousin, who's my age, turns to his own mother and says, oh, I'm not a fluffer. My wife's a good fluffer. And so to myself, I tee-hee-hee, right? I'm like, tee-hee-hee-hee.
Of course.
Goes over her head, my dear sweet angel, and starts talking about, I wish I had a fluffer. I would pay $40 if somebody would come be my fluffer for this tree, and on and on and on. And I almost gagged on my coffee. I was fucking dying. And like a couple of us were laughing, and she's just going on and on. And she's like, yeah, isn't that fun? Like, had no idea what she was talking about. And I did not have the heart. I did not have the heart to tell her what she was talking about. And then it dawned on me, am I supposed to know what a fluffer is? Like, I almost feel bad about myself, the fact that I know what it is. And I'm like, why do I know what this? Ooh. And then it was kind of like, oh my God, if I told her, then that would be admitting, like after like, the thought came through. Because originally I was just trying to protect her little, bless her heart soul, you know. Because I don't want to expose her to but I was like, well, what does this say about me that I know what a fluffer is? Oh my gosh. So yes.
I also know what a fluffer is. And as I was putting our Christmas trees up, I made a post about it on the Book of Faces. And
she's like, there should be professional fluffers that you can hire to come fluff your tree. I would pay a fluffer $40. $40 to come fluff my tree.
Just write that ad in a very specific way. But when I made the post, Natasha, I was careful because I actually typed it out. I was like, oh, my least favorite part of Christmas decor is fluffing. And then I was like, you can't say that. So I changed the post to say floofing the tree so that I wasn't using the word fluffing. And then somebody like commented the most amazing life hack, which I cannot wait to try next year.
What the fluff is it?
What the fluff is it? It's that you put on elbow length gloves.
Yeah. My tree came with gloves.
What?
Yeah, I have a fancy fucking tree.
Well, look at you in
Like,
fancy pants.
Fancy. White gloves.
Oh. Well, they said like rubber, like dishwashing gloves, and then the little pieces like don't get on your hand and make it all itchy.
Yeah.
Gross. I hate
Yeah,
that part.
my treat actually came with gloves for that specific reason.
So, do you enjoy the fluffing?
No, I'm considering not even putting it up this year. It's also, so it's a half tree.
Oh.
So there are no branches on the back side of it so that it can stand flush to the wall. So it doesn't like stand into the middle of the room. So you still get the effect of a tree. So it's like a little bit more than 50%. It's probably like 60%.
Yeah.
So it still is very like, especially depending on like what wall you put it on. If you put it on the wall where you're never to the side of the wall, you're just always directly on. People don't typically can't tell unless they like get up on it that it's missing its back half.
Gotcha. So you don't have to do any fluffing of the backside.
Not a single bit.
Oh, you tried hard to keep a straight face.
Girl. Oh my gosh, my life will never be the same. Oh, I can never be around my aunt with a Christmas tree ever again.
I know. It's fluffy, fluffy, fluff.
Yes. So that was my. I was just like, I can't believe my cousin said this to his mother about his wife, A. But I guess he knew she wouldn't know. But like, there were other people in the room. I think I was the only other person that knew, though. Because my uncle didn't react. My aunt's boyfriend didn't react. Obviously, the children, thank God, right? Oh my
Thank God.
The children did not react. But yeah.
So was that the most drama?
That was the most drama.
That was the most drama?
Yeah. I mean, the little bit of like here and there where like, my aunt got a little testy. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot when you're cooking for a whole group of people and everybody's just watching football and not helping you.
Yeah.
So, nothing crazy. And like, I wouldn't even say testy, Yeah.
Yeah. Just like there were moments of,
little, like,
just like moments of,
like a 30-second, like, oh, nobody saw Bailey kind of a thing.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Is that pretty typical for Thanksgiving with your family?
Yeah. My family is a pretty happy-go-lucky family. So I don't deal a lot with drama. There has to be something legit, like shit's going down for there to be drama in my family. There has to be an actual crime of some sort, for it to really like get nuts.
So I haven't been back home for Thanksgiving in like 5 years or so, but many years ago, there were some very predictable family patterns year after year. So much so that my husband at the time and I decided to make bingo cards.
Like drama bingo cards?
Yes. And so we had written down all of the predictions of things that would happen. Like the burn and blame. That was a square.
The burn and blame, like I burnt food and I'm gonna blame somebody else.
Yep.
So like there's notoriously something burnt every year and someone blames anyone but themselves.
Somebody else every year. Yes.
Interesting.
There is the newspaper argument.
A newspaper argument.
Yes.
So newspapers still get delivered to the Dakotas.
Yes, they do. And my mom would have my mom had a newspaper subscription and the Black Friday ads would be in the newspaper subscription. And so then we would take them to my sister's house. And for whatever reason, even though that was so predictable, there would be some type of annoyance or argument over the newspaper in a way that was like, why do I have to bring it down right now or something like, or why didn't you bring me the newspaper earlier or something? It was
There's too much estrogen. I think that's the issue.
I have one sister and my mother.
Yeah, that's 3 chicks. That is 3 chicks.
Again, I was just sitting there watching the thing. There would also be an accusation that I was too overdressed or over, like, made up for just by having my hair, like, brushed or curled or something, that I was too dressed up.
So that was a square. Just wearing your underwear, being like,
no, I am pretty fancy. I do like to be dressed up more than the average person, but that would become a point of contention. So we had come up with an entire bingo cards worth of squares, and then we mixed up the squares, and we were playing against each other to see who would
Oh
get
my gosh.
bingo first.
Why would they care if you were dressed up? It's not like there was, because you did it at like your family house, right?
Yes, at my sister's
you
house.
didn't have like strangers over that
No.
would be judging you guys.
Mm-mm.
You would just be with just each other.
Yeah. So it was
Huh.
a very competitive situation
Girl,
between
you
me
could
and
wear
my
like a
sister.
prom dress to my house. I don't give a shit. Like,
I'm wearing pajama shorts right now and no bra.
I'm wearing full pants and a full shirt. So who's overdressed now? Oh, so tell me, how was tea Thanksgiving?
Yes. Tea Thanksgiving was great.
What did you watch?
We watched, I believe, 6 or 7 T. Hanks movies. So
On Thanksgiving Day?
Thanksgiving Day and Friday.
Okay. So
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did Forrest Gump. We did
The volcano.
Joe versus the Volcano. We did Castaway on Thanksgiving. So we did those 3 on Thanksgiving Day.
Okay.
And then the next day, Mr. Jillian and I watched Saving Private Ryan.
Good.
We
Good
pulled
call.
out the Burbs.
Did you?
Yes. And oh my gosh. So watching it back, I was like, why did I hold this movie in such high regard? I don't know that I necessarily wanted neighbors like that, but I remember feeling like I wanted neighbors like that, but maybe they're all kind of crazy. But I discovered something crazy while watching it.
What was it?
The show Desperate Housewives
Mm-hmm.
is the same set as the Burbs.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, wait a second, that's fucking Wisteria Lane. And then I looked it up online and it was recorded, it was like Desperate Housewives was recorded on the Burbs lot.
Hell yeah.
It's called Colonial Street. It's a back lot at Universal Studios.
Burness.
And after they recorded Desperate Housewives, they had to completely change it because they couldn't use it in any other shows.
It's
It was
too
too
popular.
recognizable for everybody.
You know what made me really sad? Do you remember Golden Girls?
Of course.
God, I loved Golden Girls when I was a kid. And that house was on the back lot of the Universal Studios in Florida. So when you would do like the back lot drive by, you would get to see the house, and they tore it down.
Aww.
And then keep it.
That's
so
sad.
sad. I fucking loved that show.
Yeah. I liked Golden Girls too. You know what's really interesting about Golden Girls is if they had different hairstyles, they wouldn't have looked anywhere near as old as they did in that show. They were like 40 when they recorded that.
But you know what's interesting is that's what women in Florida looked like in their 40s back at that time. Like my grandmother, I was born when my grandma was in her 40s.
Mm-hmm.
She fucking looked like that then.
Right.
All the women that she was friends with already looked like that. Like they gave up on life.
Yeah.
Like I cannot imagine having a Golden Girls haircut right now.
I know. Oh my gosh. We should use AI to see what our hair would look like with a Golden Girls
I already
haircut.
know because I look almost identical to my mom. She really doesn't have a Golden Girls haircut though, but she's got like curly white hair.
Yeah.
So like I kind of know what the future is. I don't think I would do the poof.
Yeah,
like
right?
the Q-tip.
Yeah.
We call it a Q-tip in Florida.
Q-tip, yeah. That's
Especially
a
when
good...
they're driving. Just little Q-tips.
Just little Q-tips driving their golf carts around.
Well, I'm so glad that Tea Thanksgiving was a success.
Yeah. So on Friday we watched the Saving Private Ryan, the
Burbs.
Burbs. Yep. And then we watched a Larry Crown. It's
No idea.
like this weird, I have a hard time calling it a rom-com, but it was I think a rom-com with
Meg
Julia
Ryan.
Roberts.
No.
Yes, because it's very recent.
I can't imagine him and Julia Roberts together for some reason. How was that?
You know what? It was a movie.
I feel like they don't. Was it really?
I'm just saying.
Never guessed.
No, I'm saying like, okay, it was nothing to write home about. It
Yeah.
wasn't good. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was a movie. Like it
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
You start it, you watch it. It was okay.
I can't imagine them having the right kind of chemistry together for some reason.
It was almost like a contentious chemistry. It was part of the storyline,
Okay.
right? So there was never a moment that they had to have chemistry. The whole thing was them having a contentious like attraction that they were both kind of fighting until the very end.
I think even that for me, for some reason, I feel like their energies are just not where they would even ever be attracted to each other.
So yeah, they had very weird contentious. It was a movie. Again, it wasn't that great. It was
Well, look at
nothing
you.
I'd
You
watch
watched-
again.
You watched a T. Hanks movie that you hadn't seen before, it sounds like.
Per your advice.
Yes.
And then
I love
another
it.
one.
Two
Mhm.
newbies.
Yes, the next one that we watched was
The world one?
extremely loud and incredibly close. Something like that. I don't know. It was about 9/11 and Tom Hanks was in one of the buildings and died.
How'd you feel about that?
So we were like, okay, Tom Hanks movie, and we like started it. He was in the movie for like a minute and a half.
Shut up. No. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. And they're like, Tom Hanks. You're like, oh.
Yes. And so I think there were like a couple of flashbacks. I would say all told, he had less than 5 minutes screen time. And it was this kid that was like trying to deal with the death of his father. But he talks about like, I was tested for Asperger's, but didn't have it. But he very much seemed like he was somewhere on the spectrum and like, had a very interesting way of like dissecting these possible clues and thought his dad left him this map or this treasure map of something. And
how do you spell Asperger's?
Asper. I don't know.
I feel like they didn't think this through.
Berger.
Burger. ASS.
I don't know. Asperger's? I don't know.
I know it's a P, but just like anytime I've ever heard anybody say that word, I hear Asperger's every time.
Asperger's.
Every time.
Yep. So that was Tea Thanksgiving.
Yay,
I
Tea
did
Thanksgiving.
create a spreadsheet, and there are actually an incredible amount that I have not seen.
Well, I feel like that one doesn't count, so I didn't realize.
But
that
it was
Tom
on
Hanks-
the list
I hear
of his
you.
movies, so
Well-
I still checked it off.
I mean, any movie he's in, I guess. I just didn't realize that there's going to be movies where he's not like the star of the movie.
Yeah.
Or like a
How is he
main
not the
character.
main character?
Dude, it's just nuts. And I can't believe you didn't watch Big. I thought you would watch Big with the kids, to be honest.
We would have, but they ended up going back with their dad on Thanksgiving, so
Oh,
we
okay.
ran out of like time
Time.
to watch Big.
Yeah.
So we have already talked about making sure we watch the Polar Express at Christmas time
I
because
forgot
he's
about
in
that.
the Polar Express. Although it is, I don't think I've ever seen it
It's fine. You'll be fine.
because the graphics look creepy. I don't like the
Yeah.
graphics.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. You'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It will. So that's coming up. We're going to finish the year off. We're going to get maybe a couple more in. So I now
Mhm.
have my spreadsheet. I've got my marching orders. We're going to knock the rest of them out.
How many have you done?
A lot.
How many do you have to go?
A lot. I feel
It's
like
very
there's,
scientific.
yeah, it's a very scientific amount.
A shit ton and a whole
A
bunch.
shit ton, a fuckload. I don't know. Which one's more, a shit ton or a fuckload, Natasha?
A shit ton.
A
A
shit
ton?
ton is
A
more
ton's
than a
got-
fuckload?
A ton and a load? Yeah, I think a ton.
I think a load is 2 tons, though.
I didn't know load was an actual measurement.
I think it is. I think it is.
I didn't know.
Okay, so Tom Hanks movies. I have my spreadsheet open,
Yes, yes.
and there are a total amount of 87 movies.
Fuck.
Oh, 87. 87
He's been in
movies,
87 movies. How old is he?
87.
Jesus Christ.
right?
Cheesy crest or whatever. Trying to not take the
that's-
Lord's name in vain just in case. Do you think taking the Lord's name in vain is going to be the thing that tips me over into hell? It's like that one little like straw that broke the camel's back. We're like, yes, Natasha, we know you did all this stuff. And you were still kind of on the maybe get in list. But then you said the Lord's name in vain. And yeah, the load was too big.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
went from a ton to a load and you're fucked.
All right, I'm trying to figure out how many of them I've seen. Okay, so I've seen 37 out of 87.
You have so many more to go.
I know.
I would have guessed tops 40 movies. 87.
And I've seen 37 of them.
Has the man ever, like, taken a holiday off? Oh my gosh.
No, there's almost every. Okay, so 1980 were the first movies. Then it jumped all the way to 1984. So 4 years. And then since then, there's almost every single year. Like 1997, no movie. 2002 was crazy. He had like 5 movies. 2005, 4 movies. Like,
Okay, so those years that he was off, he was probably filming movies and they just so happened to all come out in the same year or something.
yeah, but he's not done because
No, 'cause he's a man, so they don't have to stop.
2023, he had 2 movies. Asteroid City, which I've already seen. If you haven't seen Asteroid City, that is a weird motherfucking movie. And then My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. And then in 2024, Freaky Tales and Here. And he's filming one right now, The Phoenician Scheme.
I don't think I've seen a newly released movie this year.
Oh.
Or last year. No, last year I did because I took somebody to see Jurassic Park. I took a kid to go.
Nice. Asteroid City was, I'm just going to clarify, Asteroid City was 2022. That seriously was a weird ass movie. And it was like, I still don't know if I liked it or not. I'm not sure. I was like, what did I just watch?
Is it like watching The Joker where you're like, I think I liked it, but I was disturbed, so maybe I didn't?
It's like no,
I don't
it's
mean
like
it's
nothing
that
else.
movie, just as far as like when I went to see The Joker, I was like, it's a good movie, but I don't think I liked it.
I've never seen any. I was like, what? I don't even know what style this is. Do I understand what happened? Like, what is going on here? So it's kind of an interesting one. So that's the summary on Tea Thanksgiving. We will keep going.
Thanks Christmas and
Little bit. You know, we're just gonna keep plugging away. Hopefully, we can knock out the other,
50.
50 movies sometime.
It's only taking you this far in life to get through the first 37. Easy peasy. Get
You
the
know
rest
what?
of the 50 in.
You know what? The key to success is documentation and tracking.
I never give up.
So now that I have a spreadsheet, I can knock them out. But before I was
Like-
like, yeah, I've done so many of them
There's so
without
many.
tracking.
And some of them are probably obscure and worried what's going to happen to you when you get to a movie where you can't figure out how to watch it. Girl.
Castaway was kind of hard. So we actually had it on DVD, thankfully.
Mhm.
So there was one that we were having a little trouble getting to, I think. But yeah, we might get there. I mean, I might have to go dig out a
You have to
VCR.
go to that one, the one standing remaining video
Blockbuster.
library store. It's not a Blockbuster, no, not even, because Blockbuster like still like ran through stuff, right? They wouldn't keep everything forever.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So there's somewhere I want to say in LA where it's like literally like a video library, like one left.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. You can still like rent out like random ass movies from.
I feel like even the old Tom Hanks stuff, like super obscure, I feel like he's gotten to a point where somebody has an archival copy somewhere.
Yeah, that librarian.
Well, I'm just saying, like somebody's mom has it on, like on
Like
a
a super
VCR
fan?
tape.
Like a
that-
Tom Hanks superfan.
Yeah, like a Tom Hanks superfan has it recorded on a home. Like they pushed the record and the play at the same time as it came on the Channel 4. It's got commercials on it.
I love it.
It's like a
Do you
TV
have
movie
a
night.
VHS? Do you have a tape player?
If I have a VCR to play
VCR, that's right. I
to-
forgot what they were called.
Yeah, if I
Jesus.
have a VCR, it is packed in a box somewhere, but I am unsure if I still have one. I do know that I still have a Blu-ray player, and then currently we use an Xbox to play any like DVDs or Blu-rays or anything like that.
Yeah, but I have a feeling he's got movies that never made it to disc.
Yeah, because his career started in 1980 with a movie called He Knows You're Alone.
I don't like the title of that.
Me.
Please say it's like Santa and not like
I
Jeffrey
have
Dahmer. Like
I have no idea.
he sees you when you're sleeping.
He knows when you're lonely.
It's
Oh,
not
that
good.
is a creepy ass song.
It's not good. He Knows You're Alone is a 1980 American psychological slasher film directed by Armin Mastroianni, blah, 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 and Tom Hanks in his film debut.
Somebody needs to do a creepy remake of Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the song, like as like a
Yeah,
creepy, scary Manson song kind of situation.
I bet somebody has.
Somebody I would want to listen to.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So something else happened over the Thanksgiving weekend. Like, as I came out of Thanksgiving weekend, it was days of not having to, pay attention to work stuff. Like I just was like, okay, I am fully focused on creating this meal and cooking these things and all of this stuff. And I kind of just slowed down for those days. Didn't try and like get work done or apply for jobs or do anything else. And the universe took that opportunity to send me some animal symbolism in my life.
What?
Yes.
How do you know it's okay? Tell me.
I had some weird animal encounters. Now I do live
like a Yeti came to your house, like
just wait.
Okay.
Okay, so I live on acreage, so we have deer, right? They come into our yard, but they're out in the yard, right? And they can come even kind of close to the house. But the Monday after Thanksgiving was back to me being all alone. And there were 2 deer looking in the window at me. And I was like, what the fuck? I scared the shit out of me. Cause like I walked into the kitchen and there were 2 deer looking in the window. I was like, they've never come up that close.
Deers have dead eyes too.
It's creepy.
It's creepy as fuck.
So I'm used to seeing them. There were a bunch out in the yard, but these 2 had come right up and were like looking in the window. And I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh God, thank you for scaring the shit out of
The
me.
end of the world.
Okay.
I saw the movie. I saw that movie. I saw.
Well, I don't like that. I don't like that you just told me that. Okay, but that's not the symbolism I was thinking of.
And then there were like fucking flamingos, bro. Okay.
Okay.
If some flamingos show up and start staring at you, we are definitely dying.
Okay, well, that was that. Okay.
Okay.
The next thing that happened was I saw all of these weird paths in my yard. And they were like 2 inches wide, maybe. And like, they were like little tracks and they were long and squiggly. And I was like, is there a fucking like 20-foot python in my yard or something? Like, what the hell is this? A snake track? Like,
how
it's
many
so
garden
creepy.
gummies?
No, I haven't had garden gummies because I'm applying for Jobby Jobs, remember?
But you could see 2, like from the house, you could see 2-inch.
No. This was later.
Oh,
Later,
okay.
I was outside
Okay.
and I could see these tracks in the yard. They're in the grass. So real grass, like just regular old lawn grass, because it's not the prairie. No, okay, so we're not in the prairie part.
I thought you were and immediately in my mind went to that like that artificial grass that was like a shag carpet that lady's yard.
Okay, so I live on acreage, so it's not, you don't have 5 acres of lush, gorgeous lawn, right? You have prairie, and then you have grass when you're close up to your house. So close up to my house, in the grass, in the lawn that everybody would expect, there are these big tracks, like 2.5 inches, and they're just little divots. And it looked like a wet snake. Yeah, because they were like all squiggly, like maybe a wet snake. Like if the grass was really like muddy or something, the snake went through and left a trail, right? And I was like, what the fuck are these? So I actually took a picture, uploaded it to Google image search and said, what would cause this? Voles.
Yeah, voles are a motherfucker out
I
in
had
Colorado.
never heard of a vole. We have lived on acreage for years
I
now.
had voles in Lone Tree with my Lone Tree house.
So I've never had a vole.
Oh yeah, they're bitches.
So first encounter with a vole.
You can break your ankle from a vole hole.
Yeah. So vole hole. So I had these deer looking at me. And then within a few hours, I discovered these vole holes. Then I was in the hot tub and I had I was thinking about these voles and stuff, but I kept hearing this scratching sound. And I was like, what are those fucking voles like in like here on the deck, like trying to get towards the house, right?
Yeah.
And so I went to go investigate the scratching sound, and there was a bird in my downspout.
Girl, there is a movie about this. The end of the fucking world is coming.
Okay, there was a bird in my downspout.
We're dying.
Okay, so so you have your rain gutter,
I
right?
have goosebumps right now. I'm not even kidding you.
So-
I am not kidding you.
Okay,
I am so scared for my life right now.
it's gonna get worse. Just okay.
If I'm telling you, if a freight ship,
Yeah. Yeah,
what is it called?
yeah.
When they hit the land, what is that called?
Like a freight.
But
They land ho. I don't know. They run over.
When they run it around, if
They
they
run
run
it around.
around,
Yes.
I'm gonna find a bunker because we're gonna be dying.
Okay. Let me tell you the rest of the
my
bird story.
God.
So I'm in the hot tub and I'm like, what the hell is that sound? Because it's like a scratching sound, but it's not exactly scratching. It's like, it's a struggle sound. But at first I thought it was a little scratching.
I don't like this.
So I go over and I'm like, it's coming from over there. So I like go the
So
10
you white
feet.
ladied it. So okay, so this is how I know you were like a white lady.
So
No
it was
twerks
daytime.
symbols.
It was daytime and I'm like, what the hell is this noise? It's not like
You
loud.
could be killed in the daytime. You know that, right? Like the daytime doesn't protect you from death.
No, but it's also like I
This
can
is some white lady shit in a horror movie.
Okay, well, I thought it was one of these fucking vole things. Okay, so I was like, where is this vole coming from? How is it getting in? Is it gonna get in my house? Like, what do I need to do? Do I need to put a trap over here? Right. So I get out of the hot tub. I put on the robe that I brought with though. So I'm not like just in my swimsuit in like 40 degrees walking around doing hunting for a vole.
And it's freezing cold out. Okay.
Yeah, it's like 45 degrees probably. Okay. So I have a robe on.
I'm so glad that you've survived Thanksgiving. You like find out between the grapes and this story. I'm so glad you're here.
Okay. So I walked the like 10 feet from the hot tub over to the downspout. And let me describe my downspout for our listeners. Okay. So you've got your roof and then a metal downspout comes down to the ground, right? Except my deck is right there. So it has to have like one of those outlets. So normally there's like an elbow towards the bottom.
Yeah.
And then there's one that sticks out.
Yeah.
But my deck is there. So what it is there's like a junction box about a foot above the deck. And then it goes into like a flexi pipe that's like
Really long.
15 feet long.
Yeah.
And then there's an outlet at the end of the deck.
Yeah.
So at the junction box, there is a grate. And that's so that any leaves that come down the spout don't go into the inaccessible tube, right? So I realized that the sound is coming from under the grate. And I like peek in there.
No, and Freddy Krueger fucking jumps out. Oh my God, no. I do not like this story.
There's a bird stuck in the grate. So the bird made it 15 feet into the tube and was stuck at the top of the grate trying to get up through the downspout tube out of the grate. And the grate is plastic.
Such dedication.
I know. And I'm like, oh my God. So I go inside and I get dressed all the way, right? And I'm like, okay, I don't want this poor bird. Oh, yeah, because it's also cold and I'm like wet, even though I have a robe on. Like I'm in my swimsuit robe. Like I'm like, I gotta get dressed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta get this bird out of this grate. Like I can't let this bird die, right? And so I get a knife to pry the gate or the grate up.
Yeah.
But it was like just enough like leftover ice that it was kind of like frozen in there. So I had to like hack a little ice off. And the bird's like freaking out right there the whole time. And then finally it was like, fuck this shit. This lady's gonna kill me, and took off and went out the grate the 15 feet the other way.
Yeah, dum-dum.
Yeah. But I had to scare it into going back the way it came.
You know I would have told you to scare it from the beginning.
I tried. I mean, Don't you think that like fucking around with the grape would have
should have yelled, "Get
go
out of
back
here,
away,
mice!"
that cave?
You should have said, "Get out of here, mice!"
So I've had all of these animals come to me. And so then I was like, what do these animals symbolize? And so I looked it up, and deer looking at you is supposed to be symbolize that you should be gentler on yourself and not be so hard on yourself. And voles symbolize, and now I'm like, you little bastards, of course you symbolize this, being resilient and dedicated to your mission. And a trapped bird going back the way it came can be try not to struggle so hard and take an easier path. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should go back to some of the things that I already know. Maybe like all of this struggle that I have right now, trying to find a different job and a new thing and everything. Maybe I just need to chill the fuck out and go back the way I came and do some of the shit I already know.
Maybe you really need to see this movie with the creepy ass fucking deer.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh, you saw it,
I saw it.
like with the mansion and all the things. And, like, the
Yeah,
rental
I saw
property?
it. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I think it's the end of the world too, but like, yeah, it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I see deer all the damn time. I see them every day at my house, but I've
Yeah.
never
They're not
had one
staring you
looking in my window. Two of them.
No, bro.
Two
No, bro. No.
looking in my window.
My mom, and stepdad,
We're avid big game hunters and predatory hunters and blah blah blah. And they have this deer mount in the living room. The mule deer in particular, because they had all kinds of dead animals in the fucking walls. I'm not gonna lie. But this one, because like
Yeah.
mounted animals, they would stare at you in the eyes. But
It's
this
weird.
one in particular, like, I mean, and technically, yes, they were all dead, right? But like this one had the deadly eyes, kind of like
Gross.
stare.
Ew.
like I never want to make eye contact with the deer.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I feel like they like look through you.
It was horrifying.
They like see you, but they're like, I see through you.
You know what I mean? Fucking creepy.
Yeah, like, I mean, it was so weird to just like walk into a space and see two of them looking at me. Like, I
And you
just
had
like,
some big panes, like glass pane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you could probably see like their whole bodies. Like it's not just their little head poking in like a window. It's like
oh, no.
they look like full on like they're
I could see
almost feel like
from
they're
like,
inside.
I could see from their like deer armpit up. And one of them, so they were does.
Yeah. Dudes don't hang out together
Yeah, I mean,
just
sometimes,
fight.
yeah. So
to fight.
a doe and like a teenager-y kind of looking one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hanging out, just looking in the fucking window. I was like, "What the fuck do you want? Get out of here!" Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me.
Did they like what happened? Did they just stay or did you leave the room?
Like what happened?
I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I screamed, and then
Did you
they
walk
just
up to
like
the window? What did you do? Oh, you screamed.
I screamed. Well, because of surprise, right? I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
scared of it, but like it was a
Shock.
stunning. Yeah, it's a shock, and they like
You got
looked at
scared.
me for a second, and I was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck are you guys doing?" And I moved a little bit, and they were like, "Oh shit!" And then they took off, right?
Yeah.
And then all of the rest of the deer in the yard also took off.
Yeah.
Which there were probably, I don't know, like 6 to 8 deer or
Right,
so.
right.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
good gathering. So that was my animal encounters, all within an 18-hour period.
I don't like it.
Within 18 hours. Also, I went on a massive vole killing spree.
I love how you are like so worried about so many animals and like hurting their feelings. When it comes to rodents, you are ruthless.
You know
You
what?
are like a rodent killer.
I am trying to sell my house, and I do not need motherfucking vole holes all up and through, okay?
Motherfucking vole whores.
So I do not need people to walk up and be like, what are all these? Is there a giant fucking python that lives here? Because they may think the same thing that I thought. So I was like, you bitches are going down. So I set up. I have a really long porch, like front porch, and there was 2 holes, 2 holes, 2 holes. So there were 6 holes along the front, but in groupings of 2. So there were 3 spots. I set up 11 giant mouse traps, like rat traps. I caught 3 voles And I caught in traps 2 mice. And I had 1 mouse that died from extenuating circumstances.
What, did like a fucking house fall on it and its little like shoes were out? Like, what? The Wicked Witch of the East.
The craziest shit happened to this mouse. I don't even know how to describe. I don't even know how to describe what happened.
Death by
But
Python.
no, it
It fought back in the mouth of an animal in one.
it evil Knieveled.
Oh no, is it like those lemmings that jump off of a fucking cliff together?
So I had these rat traps set, right? And this mouse got on a rat trap, and it was so powerful that it evil Knieveled it in the air, and it died from the impact of taking flight. So will you please describe to our listeners what picture I am showing you right now? Describe the scene.
Evil and flew out of the trap and died by landing outside of the trap.
It did not get snapped by the bar. It literally just got flung into the air, and a couple of feet away from the snapped trap, the mouse is laying
Oh, it's bad.
on its back, dead bug style.
I'll bet you anything if you like zoomed in on it, it has X's over its eyes and its tongue hanging out. Like that is what it looks like.
And
It looks like when you pretend to be dead. Like on your back.
it totally does. So if you mudslide mamas and daddies would like to see Evil Knievel Mouse,
Are you allowed to post carcasses of dead animals, like suicidal animals, photos?
sure.
I didn't know
I
if
don't-
it was legal or not, you know.
I don't know if it's Facebook legal, but that would be a good reason for our mamas and daddies to sign up for our newsletter, because we can send out dead mouse photos in the newsletter. This photo is a dead mouse photo you'll actually want to see. Okay, it's very fun.
That's the
But
funnest dead mouse you've ever seen.
I know.
No, I saw is a raccoon considered a rodent?
I
feel
am
like, right?
unsure.
Well, I saw
The funniest
raccoon, depending on who you were, taxidermy of my life.
Okay.
I was out in the middle of Nowheresville, stopped at this little like store, and they had this little like setup, like this little like tree stump that was the shape of like a table, and they had taxidermied 4 raccoons playing poker around this table, and one of them was cheating, another one was smoking. It was fucking hilarious.
I kind of love it.
I loved it. I should have taken a picture. I was like, I would have this in my house. Straight up. Like
I love it.
If I had a formal like portico or like formal entryway, 100% I would have this like poker party smack dab in the middle of it. Oh, it made me laugh so hard.
I love it so much.
Well, it was so good to see you. I'm so glad you had a really good holiday.
We're entering this fun holiday season where we get to do more pies and bake more dead birds.
Yum.
I have a 19-pound turkey for Christmas already in the freezer.
I would like to cook an emu for Christmas this year.
Ooh.
I hate emus. We'll have to talk about that sometime. I have an actual hatred of emus and fear.
Let's follow up in the After the Slide episode, which our listeners can catch next Tuesday.
Okay. Until then, mamas and daddies.
Bye.
Bye.